from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. The one and only Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We will talk about you right in front of you. Kathy's going to start us off today. Kathy's over in Austin, Texas. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Great. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I've heard you all advise against using credit cards in favor of debit cards or cash. So my question is, why shouldn't my husband and I take advantage of getting credit card points for travel expenses that are required for work but are going to be reimbursed by the employer?
So your employer is so poor they require you to advance them for your own travel?
No, sir.
Well, why do they require you to advance them for your own travel? You're traveling on behalf of an employer and they're not paying for it in advance? Why are they making you pay for it for them? Well,
that's the established protocol.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. We haven't asked them.
Yeah.
So
you understand that if they decide not to pay you 1 month, that those are your credit cards.
This is true.
And you understand that I'm the guy that's been counseling and coaching people for 35 years. So I'm the guy that had the guy walk in with $11,000 on his Amex that was supposed to be reimbursed. But when he went to the office that day, there was a padlock on the door and they'd filed Chapter 11. He got nada. He had $11,000 on his Amex. Amex didn't care if his company had gone broke. They wanted their money.
Understandable.
Yeah. It's kind of a problem, isn't it?
For him, absolutely.
For you, too.
Why are you different?
Well, we haven't experienced that same situation that you just described.
I know, but you're exposed to that exact same risk.
This is true.
And all for an airline mile. It's almost impossible to use. So I think if you're going to, if you're willing to take that risk, I'd be very scared about it. It is standard in corporate America. Somehow corporate America has conned its employee base into taking a loan on their behalf with the promise of repayment, and taking the risk for that and acting like it's no big deal. But it's a real deal. I've noticed it many, many times going sideways on people. The other thing people do is they run up stuff on their credit card because they're just not watching that's not reimbursable. And so they end up with a reimbursement check that's less than a balance.
That's right. Yeah, you could spend something on that credit card and think, oh, I'll get reimbursed for this. But Becky down in accounting might not think so. And so you're on the hook for that.
But you got an airline mile.
But you got your airline mile.
And when you use a debit card, the strangest thing happens. You pay more attention because it's like real money. So here's the deal, Kathy. Couple things. Number one, when you use a credit card, you are likely to spend more than when you use a debit card, period. Tons of research showing that because it doesn't have the same friction, marketers call it, in your brain.
A lot more.
So your chances of spending more are higher. Where you're doing it on behalf of an employer hoping for reimbursement, your chances of making a mistake are higher. Obviously, you don't think that any of this applies to you, but it does. It does. And so you're just more susceptible to risk and to problems. And then the third thing is this, and I think the most compelling argument is this. I have never met a single millionaire that says, Dave, I made it all on my airline miles. That was my breakthrough. My financial difference, the difference maker in my financial plan was I took a $1 billion company that studies consumer behavior in depth, and I was smarter than them. I whipped them. I didn't spend more, and I got airline miles. And I actually used the airline miles. I actually gamed the system, and I became a millionaire because of it. Never met one. Not in 30 years of doing this.
Well, let me take it a step further.
I know a lot of middle-class broke people who think they're gaming the system and are strutting around, acting like they got something with an airline mile, but they really didn't at the end of the day.
I'll take it a step further, Dave. I don't like supporting companies that their entire model for having revenue is built on failure to pay on time. I don't like that. I like companies that offer a service that really would like to help you, and they get revenue from giving you something or helping you do something or giving you a service. I can't support a company where the only way they make money is by people failing to pay on time. That's the top seller right there. I don't like that.
The way they get them in the churn is they offer an airline mile. And oh, by the way, Consumer Reports says 78% of the airline miles are never redeemed. So
Yeah.
I know Kathy's may be in the 22%, and she may get 100% reimbursement, and she may
might.
never overspend. But you are playing with snakes, Kathy.
Look, everybody says, I pay my card off every month, but all I know is this: there's $1 trillion in credit card debt. So somebody's lying.
Yeah, and it's up right now.
Yeah.
And
Somebody's lying.
And I got to tell you, the number of people that we've coached out of credit card debt over the years that said, it all started because I was trying to get a free airline ticket. Mm-hmm. And here's the other one. This one's humorous to me. This is not, Kathy didn't bring this up, but we'll just keep on this subject for a minute. The Discover points, you get 2 points back.
Yeah.
So you get 2% back.
2%.
So here's the deal. You spend $100
2%.
to get $2. Now,
Big whoop.
explain to me how that causes wealth. That in order to get $2, you spend $100.
Yeah.
What math class did you people go to?
The school of the broke.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the kind of stuff that's out there. And so what I studied and the way we came up with the process that we use here is common sense that Grandma had, and I studied where companies are being predatory, and I stay away from snakes, and I studied wealthy people, and I find out what wealthy people do.
Yep.
And yes, some wealthy people, Kathy, do have a credit card, and some of them do pay it off every month. But none of them claim that was somehow a financial breakthrough.
That's right.
And you're already spending more mental calories on this than it's worth, even if you're getting full redistribution on this. So you ask why? That's why. You spend more, you're more likely on a travel expense account to spend money that's not reimbursable because, I get my airline miles back. Oh, I'll buy 2 instead of 3. I'll buy 3 instead of 2 because I get my airline miles back. So you're more likely to spend more. You're higher risk when you are loaning this corporate America characters your money, hoping they're going to pay you back each month. Whew. Scary stuff. And we have seen the times that they didn't. You can't just assume. Assuming will get you in trouble.
You know what they say about it.
Yeah, I've heard. This is The Ramsey Show. Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Nikki is in Montgomery, Alabama. Hi, Nikki. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay. We have just recently found out that my husband's boss is actively trying to sell the company. We're the only ones in the company that know this right now, simply because my husband's kind of the financial guy who was going to be the one to gather all that financial information to potential buyers. So we do have a heads up, which is a blessing. The boss has also indicated that we would be getting a severance of about $200,000. Of course, taxes will have to come out of that. My question is, after taxes, how should we manage this, knowing we're going into a season likely of no income?
Well, if you know that you're going into a season of likely no income, can you prepare on the front end so that you don't have a season of likely no income?
Well, with him being the financial person of the company, we just kind of feel like it's the right thing to do. To stay until the last day.
I'm not suggesting not staying necessarily.
But why not go ahead and have a job lined up that after the last day you start the next day?
Well, we have started looking. We don't know if this will be in 60 days or 6 months. Mm-hmm. We're just not sure yet on that. We're in the
but
very
you can go ahead and get some leads in the pipeline that you tighten up as you do know.
Right, and we're working on that. He's already had a few interviews. Nothing real substantial yet, but he has had a few interviews.
That's great.
That is a good.
So he's the CFO.
Right. He is.
And how large a company?
I'm not real sure. Just in our discussions with these brokers who are kind of, the middleman on trying to get this sale completed, or we're in the very beginnings of it. But these brokers have indicated this would be, tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah. Okay. So they've got how many employees?
My guess is probably 250 to 300.
So you think he'll fire all of them?
Certain. I don't know.
Okay.
We don't really know how that's all going to shake out.
Okay. All right. Well, in order for me to stay, if I'm your husband, you're going to have to sit down with. You need to sit down with his boss tomorrow, and just say, I'm willing to stay with you and help you complete this transaction, like we've been talking about. But my only requirement is that you put the severance package in writing, and in order to do that, and that you keep an open line of communication with me so that I have good timing issues, so I can line up my next thing to line up with this. If you surprise me, since you're not telling anybody else, and you decide you're not going to tell me something, and I get surprised, I'm going to leave you with this. My obligation.
I totally agree with that.
Your husband's obligation to him goes away if he's not willing to A, put the severance in writing, B, put a promise to an open line and perform to an open line of continuous communication about timing and probability and whatever. We're not asking for any of the $10 million. We're not asking for any of that. That's not yours. That's his. He owns it. But he does owe you, if your husband's gonna stick with him, he does owe him communication and the severance in writing. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and leave now.
Yeah, because where's the negative side of his boss doing that for him? I mean, I can't think of a negative.
There's no downside if he's really gonna do it all.
Right.
Okay. But this guy is secretive and doesn't want to tell anybody, and you don't need to blow off all your customers and all your employees. I agree with that, but he's really, really holding this close. I mean, the phrase that scared me, Nikki, is when you said the only reason we found out was because he needed my husband's help. Meaning that this guy really isn't discussing this with his senior leadership team, and he really owes them a discussion.
Right. That's how I'm interpreting that is that he needed my husband.
Yeah,
to help
otherwise
me
you would have
gather all
known
this
nothing.
Financial information.
Yeah, otherwise you would have
Right.
known nothing. Yeah. So the other senior people are going to be hung out high and dry. That's what you're telling me.
Wow.
And
Possibly.
so that scares me dealing with this guy. He's hardcore. So I'm going to be a little hardcore back and just go, you're going to communicate with me and you're going to put the severance package in writing. And then you can keep working the interviews and line up something where you start the next day and the $200,000 severance package actually becomes a signing bonus then.
Right.
It's extra money.
Now,
then.
should we get this $200,000, of course, less taxes? How do you think we should manage that?
If you have a new job that's equal, you just throw it on the baby steps wherever you are.
Okay.
If
Well,
you
thankfully
don't-
we're debt free. We have just a tiny mortgage, like $40,000 on our mortgage.
Okay.
Would you say hang on to that, or
I would.
Or just
If
go ahead and
you
knock
have
that
the new
out?
job, I'd pay off the mortgage the day you got the severance.
Okay.
But if you don't, then I'm going to hold on to cash like crazy until we land the new job. And then I'm going to pay off the mortgage and do some investing and some generosity and some enjoyment. After going through the stress of this, you guys may want to go on a really nice high-end cruise for 2 weeks.
And you should. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
Can I go too?
Yeah.
That's great.
Now, I'm not
More the
talking
merrier.
about the Walmart on the seas. I'm talking about the good stuff, okay?
The good stuff, yes.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Nikki. Good stuff. Hunter is in Houston, Texas. Hey, Hunter, what's up?
Hey, Dave and Jade, how y'all doing?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
Good. Hey, I am 26 years old, exploring a company change in the residential construction field. It would be good for the debt paying off, but I'm not sure if it's a great move for the career. Do you mind if I go on with?
Why would it be a bad move for the career?
So the current company I work for is a high-end custom construction residential homes. Totaling $63,000 take home. I have no benefits except a gas card that pays me $6,000 annually. I just received a 5% raise last week after 10 months with the company, but I'm still underpaid for my industry. Due to this, I've picked up a side hustle giving me an extra $8,500 annually. All in, I'm about $77,500
What's the new guy offering?
take home. The new guy is a Fortune 500 company offering $90,000 to $95,000 base plus bonus.
And that's not a good career move. Why?
It's not a good. My gut tells me, sir, I'm building 3 custom homes totaling out to $11 million, and something tells me if I'm busting my butt in front of people that can afford this kind of stuff, when it's my turn to start my own company, I might just land in the right network.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No. You're 26.
Yes, sir.
Nobody's hiring you to build an $8 million house.
You're right.
Sorry. I don't mean to be mean, but
It's okay.
I'm just being truthful. I like you. I think you're a sharp guy. But, I'm thinking, in 5 years maybe, but in 5 years you've lost $200,000 of income not working for these other folks. So,
Correct.
Yeah, and you stated to me that even after a 5% raise, you're still underpaid by the industry. It's disturbing. Why would they do that?
Sir. Yes, sir.
There's something bothering you about your current company, and it's because of the statement they're making by underpaying, and it feels like they're underpaying. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's not, if there's other reasons to not change, maybe. But I think I'd go ahead and take the other gig. You got plenty of time to become a custom builder, and you'll build up your own network. But working for free or cheap and somebody taking advantage of you is what you're talking about. That doesn't sound appealing to me.
Nope, I'm walking.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer, and good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We have people who tune into every episode of The Ramsey Show. They can answer all the questions, and they're still stressed out and stuck. Why? Because knowing what to do with your money isn't the problem. You have to actually do it. Personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. I know I'm not supposed to eat donuts, but if I eat them anyway, the knowing doesn't matter. See, it's the behavior change that gives you the results. And the proven way to get this is with Financial Peace University. It's no help with the donuts, but it'll help with the budget and the getting out of debt, I promise you. The class is the difference between trying to get in shape and just thinking about it and reading books about it, or actually getting a personal trainer and an appointment at the gym to do the work. That's why this class has worked for 10 million people. And after 9 weeks and 9 lessons and being with this superhero called a coordinator that will love you enough to tell you the truth and encourage you, you'll make progress faster than you ever have in your life. And I know you think you already know it all. You do. But you're not doing it. Common sense has always been around. But I still helped 10 million people implement the common sense with Financial Peace University. I can get all of Ramsey's stuff in a book. Yep, you sure can. You can. But I can promise you the people that go through Financial Peace University have a much higher probability of becoming millionaires than those that buy a book and put it on their coffee table and use it as a coaster. And that's what happens a lot. So don't just listen to the show and say, don't go, you got to go do this stuff. Jump into Financial Peace University. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Hey, if you're enjoying this show and you want to help us out, follow us, subscribe, click the follow button, the subscribe button, click the share button, share the show, share a link of the show, the podcast, the YouTube, tell people where you're watching us on TBN and what time, or your local radio station. Wherever you're consuming the show, let people know about it, and that helps all of us. Since you are our marketing plan, we need your help. Thank you very much. Todd is with us. Todd is in Miami. Hi, Todd. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I have a problem with parents saying no to parents. But long story. I did your course. I did it back in 2016. Mm-hmm. It was hard. It's one of the worst things I went to. I didn't even know I was in debt. So I want to thank you for that.
Sure.
I built up a nice little cushion, bought me some income properties, did everything, cooked in the crock pot, did everything I was supposed to do, you know? Then my mother's husband passed. No life insurance, knowing that they were together for 30 years. Now she's in my hands because my other siblings can't do anything. So she wants a nice condo. I get it. I have a real estate license also, so it was kind of easy, but it wasn't easy because you have to put 20% down. There's a 30. Wait,
stop.
Who has to put 20% down? You?
We did.
Who's we?
Did. Me. Well, I bought it for her, but I put my name on the deed.
Okay, so you bought a condo for your mom to live in. Why? Why couldn't she live in on her own?
She didn't. That's what she wanted.
How old are you?
52.
That's what she wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't care what she wants.
And why are you saying it like If she says it, that's what it is.
You're
like
52
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old is Mom?
75 in good health.
Yeah, and she has absolutely no money?
When he passed, I said, well, okay, well, this is good. I mean, they lived well. And I thought automatically you had some kind of policy. The way they were going and the Christmases and the things, I thought
Hey,
that was
Todd.
already taken care of.
Hey,
but
Todd, does she have any money?
Well, she has 2 pensions and Social Security, but it's not enough to cover the expenses. They just went up on the HOA fees over there. And we had to put 6 months in reserve, so that's like $6,000. So, and I want my kitchen done, and I want I said, so.
Wait,
I
that's your
finally
mom
said,
talking? That's your mom talking?
Yeah. And I bought the book. I just told your producer, the guy, so I read the book 2 times, and I'm struggling. I said no yesterday.
Which book?
Boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the answer is no to all of these things. You got to start learning how to say no.
Yeah.
So how much is
I'm
the
not getting any phone calls or anything.
I don't care. How much is the condo payment?
It was the condo, the
payment, the
mortgage
monthly
is,
payment.
$972.
Okay, and she's supposed to be paying that.
Right.
And she has 2 pensions and Social Security, so she can pay a $900 payment.
Right.
Good.
But,
Good. Okay.
she likes to...
And the HO, but there's no but.
I know.
The only but
I know I
here
was
is your
going to get a
mom.
whipping for this one.
Yeah.
I want to know, you doing this for your mom, what's the implication financially for you?
Well, my
What's
kitchen
this
has
keeping
gone
you from?
down substantially. I wanted to buy some more income properties because I want to retire. I work in construction, and I don't want to be, I'm doing things to change my whole career.
Mm-hmm. And
What's your net worth, Todd?
My net worth, I guess the 2 properties, I have about $200,000 equity in one. At about now, $50,000 in savings. I have a small pension from couple of government jobs I have.
What do you make a year?
About $125.
Okay. You do not have the money to help your mother any further.
I know.
Not like
you
this.
You don't have enough money. You didn't call me up with a $10 million net worth. If it was chump change and you wanted to go fix a kitchen, fine. But she's basically completely out of control emotionally. And I don't know where you got or she got the idea that you're obligated to give her a condo and fix the kitchen and.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people don't respect boundaries, and Henry Cloud talks about in the book Boundaries, and then you set a boundary, please don't expect them to accept it graciously. So I suspect her little spoiled self's pretty pissed off at you.
Yes, very.
Yeah. So, oh well.
Oh, well. I know that's right. I'm sorry. I'm back on when you said, and she said she needs a nice, is almost making these demands on you. Have you said to her, Mom, I'm doing the best I can with my money. I want to help you get set up, but it's got to be. I got you
into a condo.
Yeah.
You can afford it.
Yeah.
And if you can't live with that, then I guess you'll need to move, and I'll sell the condo. But I'm willing to let you live here. I've already done this much, and I just can't do any more. And
I can't.
No, you really can't. You don't have any money. You don't have enough money.
No, not at this age. And I was doing well.
Not any age. I mean, you don't have enough money. It's a math thing. Mm-hmm. And so you don't make $600,000 a year and have $10 million. That's not your numbers. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, the reason you called her is she's weird and out of control, right?
I know.
Yeah. I mean, she's your mom. Yeah. I'm sorry to say that, but I mean, that what she's doing is whacked. So you just got to smile and go, nah. Nah. Done all I can do. Sorry, Mom. Love you, but not do anymore. My love for you does not indicate that I have to be out of control, nor am I at an age or a net worth where I take orders from people.
Are you the only kid, Todd?
No, but I'm the go-to.
You're the golden child
for the whole family, and I said no like 3 times this year, and I don't get any more phone calls.
That's all right.
You know
Keep
what?
saying no. It's good practice.
Yeah, you just got to build your muscle, and she'll figure it out eventually. She'll understand that no actually means no. It's a complete sentence. Sad. I'm sorry, honey.
It is.
It's hard when it's your mom, but she's being whacked, dude.
Yeah, she's out of control.
That's whack. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're talking about your life and your money. It is a free call, 888-825-5225. Stephen is in New Orleans. Hi, Stephen. How can we help?
Yes, my wife and I are navigating a family tragedy and have recently gotten a reasonable check to deal with as well, and I was hoping to get an outside opinion on what we should do with it.
Okay. Tell us what's going on.
The check is from a 2-year battle over a homeowner's insurance claim. A couple of large hurricanes came through Louisiana and damaged our home, and it's a $70,000 check. We have very little debt. And 2 months ago, our 5-year-old son died.
Oh, my.
And it's difficult to know what to do.
It's difficult to breathe.
That's nearly impossible.
Yeah. What happened to your son, huh?
My son was born with a series of heart defects. He had to have an open heart surgery when he was 5 months old, and had to have a second one last October that we knew was coming. And it was supposed to last we were hoping for decades, but unfortunately, after the surgery, his heart function took a dive, and we got him on the heart transplant list, but he didn't make it that long.
I'm so sorry. Wow. Yeah, he fought a long time, didn't he? Wow.
He was in the ICU for 5 months, and he won a hell of a fight.
What was his name?
Kane, Edward Cochran.
James?
No, Kane.
Kane. Okay.
Kane.
Okay. Wow. Stephen, I'm so sorry. So I can't even imagine. You know, I can't breathe, and I just met you a minute ago. I can't even imagine being in your old situation. What I tell folks to do, and this is from decades of doing this, is anytime you're in a situation where there's a tragedy, the loss of a loved one primarily, try not to make any big decisions while you can't breathe. And your memories will always be there, and the pain will always be there, but your mind will clear over the coming months. The fog will start to lift, and right now you're just walking along and you see something or you hear something and it activates and a wave hits you right now. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. That'll happen less and less and less, and it's not because you're going to forget him. We don't want anybody to do that. It's just because you're managing through the grief process. And but no one is thinking, no one. If Dr. John Deloney has 2 PhDs and one of them is in counseling, were he facing this, he would not be thinking clearly. takes the best of minds and brains and puts a fog on them to go through what you all are going through. So we always tell folks, if you can, try doing nothing with it that is a big money expense. So, for instance, if someone calls and had a lady call the other day, had been married 50 years, and her husband passed away, and she got a $600,000 life insurance check. And she said, what do we do? And I said, well, it's been 2 weeks. You're not doing anything. I want you to park this in a high-yield savings account, and then 6 months from now, when you can start to breathe a little bit better, your mind will be a little bit clearer. We can talk about it, or even a year from now. And so if you don't need, it sounds like you don't have any debt, you said, except a little bit, and on the house, and I'm sure you guys are zombie mode, robot mode, whatever you call it, going back to work, trying to restart lives. And
are you back to work, or are you still out?
I quit my job 2 years ago and got back in school. And our plan was that I would stay home with him and do school while my wife worked. And this has left me, I am still not working. The prospect of trying to go out and find a job and meet people, usually there's some days that it sounds okay. Most days I can't do that.
Yeah, I understand.
My wife is a little bit different. She still works. She was kind of established at her job, so she finds a little bit of solace going in when she can, or when she wants to.
Well, I would be working with someone to help me walk through the grief, and they can help you figure out the timing of plugging back in, because there's a positive element to plugging back in. It's not punishment, and it's not disrespectful to your son to go on and have a life. And so you're going to do that. And you're going to do that in reasonable timing, and you're going to do that. But in the meantime, if you guys can make your bills, and I guess you can off of your wife's income, I'm going to just take the $70K and park it in a CD for 6 months and just cry for 6 months and get through the worst of this, and get your new reality, the new career saddle, and climb into it. And, I got to tell you, January is going to look a lot different than June.
Yeah.
It is. And again, it's not disrespecting your son, his memory, by any stretch of the imagination. But the best thing you can do is to be healthy and to walk the path to get healthy, and part of that's being plugged back in. And so if you're working, she's working, we're working a plan, we're looking back into the future again, we're not living in a dark cloud in January, or less of a dark cloud, then you're going to be able to make much better decisions. So try not to do anything with big money or big money decisions for 6 months at least. I like a year, but at least 6 months. And, but, I'm so sorry, man. I can't even imagine, but I am going to encourage you to lean into the grieving process, and maybe even get somebody to talk to about that. It won't hurt anything at all. Because as bad as this sucks, the only thing that sucks worse is for you to still be sitting in exactly the same place 6 months from now. And that's not okay for you. I want you to have a better life than that. And but boy, I can't imagine how sad. I just can't get my head around it. Hey, thanks for the call. If we can help further, Stephen, you call us anytime. We're here for you. So there's an element, Jade, that we talk about here all the time for the listener out there, to us talking to Stephen. They're listening in, 20 million plus of them. Anytime you're in a trauma situation, the brain shuts down. Dr. Deloney talks about this. And
he does.
Like, for instance, during COVID, we had Dr. Deloney on every day telling people, okay, you're in a weird situation. A whole bunch of people are freaking out. You remember how nasty people got during COVID? They were mean.
Man.
They were scared.
Going off.
Because your brain shuts down all the critical thinking skills when you're in trauma. It floods the chemicals over the critical. So if you're standing in the middle of the interstate and you hear, "Brr," and there's a horn coming at you, and you're like, God, I'm about to die with an 18-wheeler, your brain does not have time to say, well, let's discuss what will happen if the 18-wheeler, which weighs a whole lot more, continues to come at 74 miles an hour and impacts your body of 160 pounds. What will the physics of that be? Your brain does not have time to do that. So your brain naturally shuts down in a traumatic situation and says, get out of the way! And your most primitive part kicks in, the lizard brain, we call it. And so anytime you're in trauma, you don't make big decisions because your lizard brain is making the decisions. Your critical thinking skills are shut off. So don't make big decisions in those situations. And we all have different things that cause that to happen to our brain. This is The Ramsey Show.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Thank you for joining us, America. Jade Washoe, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for being here, America. 888-825-5225. Craig's in Nashville. Hi, Craig. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I am soon to be married to my fiance, and we are both young. I'm 21. She's 23. We both have well-established jobs. I make roughly $30 an hour now. I'm expected to go to 35 in the next year. She makes 27, and, of course, she can go higher in the next few years. We're both very early in our careers. And my fiance she has over $250,000 in liquid cash. She has $10,000 in debt. I have roughly 60. I've bought 7 acres that I still have 60 on. I guess we do plan on building a house. So I guess what I'm wondering is, do we spend that money on the house and basically live mortgage free, or should we invest that money in something else?
Wow. Where'd she get $250,000 cash at 21 years old?
Well, her father died when she was 10, and her parents were divorced at the time, so she was the sole heir. So everything that he owned did go to her. Of course, she couldn't take possession of it until she turned 18, and she has recently sold the property, and she has this money.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician in Nashville.
What does she do?
She is a dental assistant with expanded functions.
Phenomenal.
When do you guys get married?
October of next year.
Of next year, 2024?
Yes, 24.
Why the delay?
Planning, really. I mean, she's always dreamed of the biggest, princess, over the top wedding. Not that we'll spend a ridiculous amount of money on the wedding. It's just, especially booking venues nowadays. I mean, you're a year out from, you call today, you're at least a year out from today for a lot of places.
Who's paying?
Her parents will front the majority of the money. Not that we won't lean on some of her money, but we don't plan on paying for the wedding ourselves.
And the budget out of your pocket will be about what, do you think?
I don't imagine it being over $5,000 to $10,000.
Have you had this discussion with her?
With her?
I don't really care what you imagine. I was asking what the real budget is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if her parents are paying, you need to sit down with
them
parents
and her and you. Yeah, because that enters into the discussion of this $250. I mean, if you're going to spend $100 on a wedding, you need to know that. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Well, I heard what you said. I also heard that the super princess wants 18 months to plan a wedding that's off the chart, and you don't get those for $10K.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're doing. I guess but you guys need to know what you're doing.
You do. Now, in the meantime, if you're over a year out from this, can you get your debt cleaned up in that time, or a good portion of it?
I think I could probably get 10 of mine cleaned up. I
10?
Yes, I have part of that 60. I have roughly 10 in just miscellaneous personal loans. I got a boat loan and I got a car loan, and both of them are under $5,000. Right under it.
Yeah, but why do you feel like over the course of a year and a half you'll only pay off $10,000? Making $30 an hour?
Yeah. That's true. I could do better.
I think you can.
Yeah, it's pretty wimpy.
I think you can. I mean, you're making $30. Look, if it were me, if I were you, my goal would be I am going to do whatever it takes to clear the majority of this debt in the next year and a half.
Yeah.
Working extra, picking up extra hours, doing whatever I have to do to clear that out. Then you can kind of come in. She's got the money to clear out her debt. And then you guys can come in.
You live in an apartment?
No, sir. We both live with our parents still.
Okay. All right. So my suggestion would be you both become debt-free. You have a wedding budget that is under control. And then you begin to think about and dream about building a house for cash on this property. Okay?
Yes.
I would do that. I would not break ground on the new house before your 1 year anniversary. That would be the soonest, which means after you get married, you're going to rent an apartment for a year or something for a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it takes a year of marriage to know how close to your mother-in-law to build. And and honestly, you guys, you building a house is stressful for people that have done it before. Building a house is stressful for people that are old and experienced. Building a house is stressful for people that have been married for 10 years and really know each other. You got 1 year of marriage, you're 21. At that point, you're 22 and 24. And now you're drawing a house. You're getting the architect's work done. You're coming into agreement on all of that. You're asking for a real tough project because everything is so new in your life. So,
well, let me ask you a question, Dave. Would you suggest for a person's first-time home buy, would you suggest it to be a first-time build?
No.
I feel like I wouldn't. I'd want to get it. I know you're going to rent for a little while, but I feel like starting out home ownership with a new build just feels... It's
very hard. It's very hard. You're asking for trouble. And so, yeah, I would not recommend it. If you're going to do it, wait at least a year because you're gonna face some relationship trials as you go through this. It's 100%. Sharon and I have been married 41 years. We have built 3 houses together. We've gone broke and built a business that brings in $300 million a year, and we've done all of that. And we're in the middle of building a house right now. And we have to be very careful about how we talk to each other about the discussion.
I just heard something in my head. I don't want
to. It's a hillbilly fight when you have a discussion over the stove, or you have a discussion over the roof color, or you have it's.
What's your design style, Dave?
It's efficient. And and Sharon actually has style, and so that always conflicts.
That's a battle right there.
Always a conflict. So
sorry, Sharon.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, we've been doing it a long time together. We sit down together. We say we're going to do this. We're going to treat each other nice all the way through, and we generally do.
Yeah,
we generally do. But we're experienced. I mean, we're really good at it.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, and so. It's not our first ride on the cabbage truck,
Yeah,
so
the first question how much?
No.
Good.
No. Doesn't have to be now.
That's good.
It does if you only got 250.
Yeah.
If that's all you got to build, you got to ask how much. You got to ask a lot of how much because that's a tight build.
What's your first question?
Mine?
Yeah.
Is I want to see what she wants, and then I also want to make sure that it's serving the overall purpose and fits in the whole project. And
That sounds like how much?
Yeah. Well, it does. It does. That's part of it. But can it be delivered on time?
There you go.
Can we get it on time? Or is it going to hold me up 6 months? No,
Logistics.
we're not doing it if it holds up 6 months. We're going to get done. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. The question of the day is brought to you by Neighborly, your hub for home services. Neighborly's home service provider network offers top quality work and customer service by trained, reliable home service professionals. It's a great group of folk. Visit neighborly.com to find experts in your area and to schedule services today.
All right. Today's question comes from Michelle in California. We're currently in baby step 2 with a $1,000 emergency fund and still have debt to pay off. We're able to increase our income and we will be paying off our next debt of $3,800 by September. However, I have this dreadful feeling that something bad will happen to our family in our hometown in Brazil. Should that happen, my husband and I will be expected to cover the cost of the funeral due to tradition. Can I pause baby step 2 to increase my emergency fund to $5,000 for what right now is an unknown emergency? What an interesting question. I would, if you were here in real life, I'd ask you, what do you think is going to happen in your hometown of Brazil? Like, is somebody ill? Is somebody on their deathbed? I have questions.
Do gangs run the town?
Well, in Brazil, you don't
people?
know. Depends on if they're in those streets of Rio or not. Now,
I have no idea.
I don't know. Now,
you know what I think? I think if any of that was true, she would have mentioned it.
I think so,
and I
too.
think this woman is a worrywart.
I think she's a worrywart, too. And my answer is no. I would not increase your emergency fund to $5,000.
Not for vague, distant, possible, dreadful feelings.
Yeah. Now, if you did have an emergency, if somebody...
a tangible thing.
Yeah.
It's real.
Something real popped up. There's a funeral cost.
Yeah. My mom has stage 4 cancer, and they have given her 2 months to live.
Yes.
That's different.
Pause
but
the
I
baby
think
steps.
if she'd have known that, she would have said
She would have said it. And we don't know. Like, is this her in-laws? Is this...
It's a vague, dreadful feeling.
Yeah.
If it was specific, there would be something going on.
Yeah, it's a
But this
feeling.
is a vague, dreadful... This is a worrywart.
This is a worrywart. No, my answer is no.
No.
Don't stop the baby steps. Keep going.
Yep.
And like Dave said, if something actually happens and it's an actual storm
You'll work
mode,
it out. You'll work it out.
You'll do it. Yeah.
You stop everything and you'll pile up cash and you'll work it out.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a lot of stuff going on in the economy. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah. I mean,
why did they tell you at your job they're laying people off? No, I just have this feeling.
I have a feeling.
No way, you just stop your worrywart.
Yeah.
Or they laid off 10 people last week and they told me I'm probably next. That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
That's
a
very
real
specific.
reason.
Yeah, then we go, oh, okay, you have a more than 50% probability of losing your job. You don't need to be working the baby steps. You need to stop, pile up cash, and get ready for the storm. It's coming. It's not
Interesting.
But
Yeah,
it's like,
storm
it's
mode.
like the people, they close schools Tuesday because on Monday they said there might be tornadoes and the skies are blue.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm
I mean, give me a break.
dude, that's the way of the world here in Tennessee, apparently.
Oh, I know. I said that one day, and then tornadoes did hit, and so I got I got totally trashed by the weather Nazi people. They were so mad at me. One of them is in my family.
Who?
I won't mention which child is a weather worrywart.
That's look. Tornadoes are nothing to play with because they come suddenly.
Well, and they seldom.
That is true. That is true.
So,
Facts.
it's just like it's bright blue skies outside today. If there's one coming tomorrow, we'll make decisions tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to make decisions today.
Yeah. Not a snow day.
I don't do vague, dreadful feelings. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. It's just a bad idea. It's not a way to live your life. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Lisa is in Cape Coral, Florida. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I am wondering if it is all right to give my friend some money for help just taking care of her and her kids. They had a house that collapsed last month. My problem is that I am $700,000 in debt with a baby on the way.
$700,000?
Yes, I'm a veterinarian. I have over 400 of that is in student loans, and then 250 is my house, and then other loans. And
girl, your house is collapsed. Your house is collapsed too. $700,000 of debt.
I'm questioning that, but because I am working 3 jobs, I do make an extra $6,000 a month to go towards my debt / the baby on the way.
You're broke.
But yeah, I'm just trying to be ethical. Like, can I do it or can I not?
No, it's unethical. Only the strong can help the weak.
Mm-hmm. You got to take care of your house. Hungry people
can't feed hungry people. You got to get yourself straightened out so the next time something comes up, you're able.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a broke veterinarian.
Yeah, you're saying words like extra 6,000. It's not extra until that det's paid off. It is earmarked. Exactly. It's got a label on it.
When I stand that 600 up to next to 700, it falls over real fast. That 6,000 going towards 700 is just tough.
Yep, that's what I originally had said, but I wanted to get a double check, and I've been listening to you for a couple of weeks. I'm like, well, if Dave Ramsey said no, you should not, then I definitely should not.
Yeah, I want you to be compassionate. I want you to be loving. And if you want to go over there and help her physically do some things or something a little bit, that's all okay. But when you're broke, you're broke.
Are you, you said you've got a baby on the way and all this. Are you a single mom?
No, it's me and my boyfriend.
Okay. 700,000. Wow.
Yep.
How's it going?
Actually, not bad.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah. The answer to your question is generosity has to come from surplus. The only exception that we have to that is for people who are people of faith who tithe, give a tenth of their income, Jewish tradition, Christian tradition, and that comes off the top before you do anything. But in terms of helping miscellaneous folk out there, that's a wonderful thing to do and to be able to do, but you just simply can't do it when you're broke.
But you made a good point. There's other things she can do to help that are not financial burdens.
You support her emotionally when she's going through all that. I mean, she's your friend, you care about her, or, you know. But, we don't have to do a GoFundMe to prove our love.
That is true.
Open phones at 888-825-5225. Alan is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Alan. How are you?
Hi, guys. Nice to talk to you.
Better than we deserve, man. What's up?
So I came in to $2,000, and I want to know if I should pay down my student loan, which I owe $20,000, or if I should use that money to get an appraiser's license so that I can do that part-time on top of my full-time job and on top of my part-time job.
Why does it take $2,000 to get an appraiser's license in California?
Yes, exactly. It's $1,000 for the license. I'm going to have to buy a new computer, website, so it would be around maybe under $2,000, but around that much.
Oh, so you don't have any customers?
No, not at the moment, no.
So you would be a brand new appraiser looking for business?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
In a slow economy?
Well, it was something I would do part-time.
What do they charge for residential appraisals out there?
$600, $700.
Is there a shortage of appraisers?
Yes. A lot of them are getting out of the market, yes. And I know that for a fact.
Are they getting out of the market because there's not enough
money.
work?
Yeah. Why does it make you excited to get in?
It's something I can do part-time, and I like doing it.
You can't do it part-time if you don't have any appraisals to do. Everybody's getting out of the business. Why are they getting out of the business, dude?
Yeah.
Business is slow.
Okay.
That's why they're getting out of the business. So I want you to call 5 real estate agents that you know or don't know and ask them if you should get into the appraisal business right now, and would they send you their appraisals.
Okay.
And then that'll kind of give you a hint that you're not supposed to do this right now. Yeah,
Market research.
You're like doing Field of Dreams. If I build it, they will come, and maybe not.
Well, everybody else who built it is tearing it down or running away from it. Go the other way.
It is California.
Yeah.
This is the Ramsey Show. Hey, folks, you know that sinking feeling when you make an offer on a house you love and then you hear there's another offer? You need the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge. Super fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate, plus a $5,000 seller guarantee gives your offer the best chance of being accepted. The Home Buyer Edge from Churchill gives you an advantage over those other guys. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Grace is with us in Dallas. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. How are y'all today?
Great. What's up?
First, thanks for taking my call. I have a question about moving coming up. I am currently in baby step number 2, and I know in October I'm going to either stay in my building or move to a new one. And either option is going to cost me more money. The cheapest would be to stay in my building, which I do not want to do, but I would sacrifice to do it. But should I take the amount that I know I'm going to have to pay in increased rent, and then should I take that amount out of my monthly Gazelle amount that I'm putting towards my card, or should I take that out of the emergency fund?
None of the above. You take it out of your budget when it actually happens.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and if you move to another building, is it cheaper?
The rent would be cheaper, but the move would cost me about $1,600 in all. So cleaning
and
fees.
how much would you save? How much would you save on rent?
Maybe $200 to $150 a month.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's a better situation?
No, I guess it's double. Either way, it's not. So wherever I move to, I would only be there for a year, and I'd be moving to somewhere cheaper. So even though I'd be spending $1,600 in entire moving costs, I would be saving $150 to $200 a month in rent.
Which means you would break even.
Yeah, and it would be slightly a better situation, just not a safer situation.
Yeah,
right now,
you would break even. Why move? Why move if you don't like? If it's not a better situation, and all you do is break even. See, if you're spending $200 and you spend $2,000 to do that over 12 months, you're saving $200, but you spent $2,000. That's a break even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So stay and put the higher rent in your budget. Am I missing something, Jade?
I don't think so. When do you plan to be out of debt?
If I can keep up the pace that I'm doing now, with the moving costs, like the lower moving costs with staying in my building. I can do it by April.
You don't have moving costs if you don't move.
Yeah, if you stay in your building, you get to pocket that $1,600. You're not.
No, what I meant was even if I calculated. You're right. I said moving costs, but it was my higher rent. So my rent will probably go up maybe $100 if I stay here. So even with that $100 increase, I would still be able to finish by April.
Good. What do you make?
I recently just got a promotion. So starting what month are we in? June 30th, I will be making $70,400.
Good. And how much debt do you have?
$16,200.
Good job.
On one card.
Good job. You're pushing it right through. Well done. And you're going to be done by April. And $100 doesn't kill you if you're making $70,000.
Mm-mm. Okay. Cool. Well,
slows it down by $100. Between now and April, it slows it down $600, $700.
Okay, and I can make up for that in overtime and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
And you're still going to be out by April. So, yeah.
No, it definitely doesn't make sense to do the move to save the.
Yeah. Sit right where you are and pay the higher rent. You're going to be better off. And you're moving anyway in a year, she thinks.
Yeah.
So there you go. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Matt is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Hey, how are y'all?
Great, man. How can we help?
Yeah, so my wife and I got married about a month ago, and we just found out this week that she's pregnant.
Wow. So congratulations.
Yeah. A lot of big life changes going on, really happening all at once. So we're really happy and excited, but we were following your baby steps. We were on step 3B, but we were wanting your input on how we should prepare for the child coming, and, do we halt 3B and save, or, we just wanted your input. So
you're on 3. Both, go ahead.
Well, we both work, and we've been saving as singles, and then as a married couple now for a down payment on a home. But obviously, with the child coming, that would potentially change things as far as our priorities. So.
It could. If you were on baby step 2, for sure, I'd be like, hold it, or if you didn't have 3 to 6 months of savings, I'd be like, hold it, pile up cash. How much do you have saved?
Yeah, we are debt-free, fully funded emergency fund, and then we've got about $48,000 on the down. 6 months.
That's great. Okay.
What's your household income?
And then the gross is about 111, and then I guess the net.
So Matt, let's try this.
3.
Let's try this. Keep saving like a crazy person into baby step 3B, and B stands for baby. If you need it. But you probably don't need it, because I'm guessing that you have health insurance.
We do, yeah.
And
It covers labor and delivery, right?
And you've got enough to cover your deductible.
What's your deductible?
For the family, it's $6,000.
Okay. For labor and delivery, is that going to apply?
I believe so. I don't know the specifics.
You need to find out today. Call your HR people. Let's talk about health insurance. Find out what coverage you've got.
For her as an individual.
Yeah, and then start planning it. And saying, okay, all right, so let's pretend you got $5,000 out of pocket, and the rest of it's covered. Okay? So here's your plan. Your 3B just got diminished by $5,000 when the event actually occurs. So we're going to pile up cash. Mama and baby come home from the hospital. Glorious event. We write a $5,000 check, and we're back on game.
I see.
And you just have a little bit less in your 3B, and we don't buy a house while Mama's pregnant. That's just life advice.
Yeah, it didn't stop your plan, because you were saving to begin with. And if you had said, well, we plan on buying a house in the next couple of months, we'd probably tell you, chill on that.
Nope. We don't move pregnant ladies. Not unless there's an emergency. Does not the recipe for fun. You make different choices and they're bad ones. Just wait till baby, when everybody comes home and everybody's all right.
Good. Yep.
Probably this time next year, we're looking at houses.
Okay.
That's what I would do if I were in your shoes. I think you did man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
That is great.
Wonderful.
Life's about to change.
It's wonderful. Very cool.
Good ways.
Michael is with us. Michael is in Indianapolis. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So, me and my wife were 23 years old. We just got done paying off $27,000 of student loan debt in 9 months.
Way to go.
Thank you. We're both teachers, and today we went to the bank, and we wanted to start a savings account in order to start saving up for a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation with the mortgage guy at the bank, and he told me that in order for me to get a mortgage through the bank, I have to go into debt to build a credit score.
Yeah, well, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, actually, the bank is an idiot. They may require that because some people don't know. Some mortgage companies, especially bankers, don't know how to do mortgages on manual underwriting. But if you just call Churchill Mortgage, they can help you do on what's called manual underwriting, which is if you have a 0 credit score, you can get the exact same premium rate that is if you have a high credit score.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, that was my question because that's our next step is definitely buying a home.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ask a banker about financial stuff.
I think he knew that banker was tripping. I think I could tell it in his voice.
Well, and I told him that we follow Dave Ramsey, and he was like, well, the problem with that, and then I was like, okay.
You're like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Good job, Michael.
The problem with that is he tells me not to do business with people like you, so there's that. Yeah.
Oh, good instincts.
One more reason to love banks. Sarcasm. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you're ready to buy your first home in this market, it's not because of luck. It's because you've been putting in the work, you've been kicking butt, you've been budgeting, you've been saving, and we're fired up for you. We don't want your hard work to go to waste. Buying a home is the biggest purchase you'll ever make, so the last thing you need to do is fly solo or work with some kind of brand new sweet little real estate agent that doesn't know what the flip they're doing, even if it's your Aunt Susan. I know she's a nice lady, but you don't leave this up to an agent who's good enough. You need great. A Ramsey Trusted Agent is a great agent. They set you up for success before, after the closing day, during the closing. Find the right house, keeping you on track with your goals and making sure you're confident in your decision. Ramsey Trusted Pros get our stamp of approval because we know they work hard to serve you, not to pad their paycheck. You've worked too hard to buy your first home with anyone but the best. Find a Ramsey Trusted real estate agent by going to RamseySolutions.com/agent. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Mary is with us in Tampa. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
So, I don't know where I should start, but I've got over $85,000 worth of debt with my husband that we've incurred over probably the last 15 years, been having trouble paying it off. So we're married for now, not sure how much longer because I talked to a lawyer. He calls him a schmuck, basically.
The lawyer or your husband?
The lawyer calls my husband a schmuck.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
I know, isn't that beautiful? I have a high school graduate that's going to college in August. We have a special needs daughter who's 13 years old. And I didn't work for like 8 years, but I went back about 7 years ago and I worked my way up. And I'm making about $75,000 right now. And he's finally, he had his own business, not doing anything, lost our butts trying to sell our house, and, using our profits to pay off all the debt from his business. But he finally has a job, a stable job the past year and a half. So I'm trying to figure out how to pay off, or how we're supposed to pay off this debt, and gracefully exit out of the marriage. We're renting it now because we sold our house. We didn't have a choice.
Let me stop you a second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been married?
17, 18 years. I'm sorry, longer than that. 24. My bad.
24 years.
Yeah, lost track.
Why is your marriage over?
It's been mentally checked out for some time, for many, many years. He worked a lot trying to make money, did in the beginning, and eventually nothing. And then the lockdown hit, and we were able to stop some of the pain of not having money, but I've been working. So, and a year ago, he told me he had a relationship with someone. And so basically,
there's the schmuck part. I was waiting for the schmuck part.
Have you filed yet? Have you filed for the divorce yet?
No. I can't afford to, I don't know. I'm in Tampa. Everything's ridiculously expensive, and I can't. I've been looking to see, what my options are, but I can't afford to live alone right now.
Didn't you say you make $75,000 a year?
I do.
People make $75,000 a year, live by themselves all the time in Tampa.
That's above average.
They don't live in your neighborhood.
I don't know.
But they live in
Tampa.
Tampa.
We already lived out of, but we lived out of the neighborhood. We live on the fringe, so to save money, because rents were about $1,000 more where we were at.
Yeah.
When you talk to your lawyer about this, have you done any research to find out what the cost is, what might happen with your debt, that sort of thing?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happens with the debt, and I'm not sure if I remember asking him about the debt. I just know that everything else is no fault. So basically, we just kind of walk away. It's not like one of us makes more than the other person right now. And my husband wants to consolidate the debt, or maybe.
What kind of debt do you have, honey?
So it's $85,000 in credit card debt. We paid off our HELOC and all this other stuff we had when we sold our house. So we were pretty much left with nothing after we sold our house.
Okay, and I guess all the credit card debt is in both of your names.
Yeah, the one card's in his and two are in mine.
Mm-hmm. But is it about half?
Yeah.
The two that you have are about 42.5?
Yeah, 30. They're all 30 across the board. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this is hard making the payments.
Okay, so you're $75,000 a year single mom that has $38,000 in credit card debt after the divorce, right? Mm-hmm. And you have a special needs child.
Yes.
And he would hypothetically be paying child support.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. For him, my other daughter's gone now, or she's 18 now.
Yeah. So hypothetically, he'd have child support on the special needs child, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And so I'm sorry, this is a very sad situation.
It is.
But you're not mathematically trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people make $75,000 a year in the Tampa area that have $38,000 in credit card debt and one kid.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people.
I know. We have a lot of health expenses because my older daughter actually has more health issues than my younger daughter, my special needs daughter. They both do, actually.
Yeah.
So we're constantly running the doctors, doing surgeries, doing different things, car repairs, and just the debt. It just,
That's not going to change.
Yeah.
You're not stuck mathematically.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. If you want to be, you can decide you are, but the numbers you've given us has not got you stuck in this. And if he's having affairs and you're going to end the marriage based on that, then you're going to have half of the credit card debt, and you're going to have the care of a child, and you make $75,000 a year, and you're going to go rent an apartment.
I think what I'm hearing is you've never been in a situation where money is being managed effectively, right? And now you're about to go off on your own, and you don't have the confidence of knowing I can take this $75,000 a year and I can manage it effectively. It can be, because it's never been enough before, right? So you don't know, like inside your body, you don't know that this is going to be enough, that I'm going to be able to take care of my kids, that I'm going to be able to pay the bills, and that I'm going to be able to pay this debt off. You don't know that. That's.
I mean, you understand that the story you told us has you all mathematically with him working and earning, you working and earning, in the best place you've been in probably a decade. Mathematically, you're in the best place. Relationally, obviously, you're not in the best place.
She doesn't feel that. She doesn't.
You don't have any respect for him because he didn't make any money during this time. He's a schmuck because he slept around on you. And so relationally, you got those things to overcome for this marriage to survive, if it's going to survive. But mathematically, you're in the best place you've ever been. Because, with his income, if the marriage survived with his income and your income, if you both decided to manage money together, you could clean this mess up rather quickly. But
I don't know. We just re-signed our lease. That's $2,300. I mean, and that's where we're at. That's like the cheapest that we could get. So we just renewed our lease.
That doesn't sound like someone that's filing for divorce to me. Who's filing for divorce that re-signs a new lease for a year?
Well, I don't know. I don't
either. Who does that?
I had too much going on mental. I don't know.
I think you just made a choice thinking you got. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I have no choice. Yeah.
I have no choice.
You had a choice, but you felt like you had no choice.
You do have a choice, but you're taking your choices away. By, if you want to be stuck, I'll tell you, you can be stuck if you want to be, but you're not stuck. So, I think that you guys could sit down with a good marriage counselor and invest some time and energy into this 25-year marriage and give this a shot. Since you just signed a 1-year lease, I kind of think you want to do that deep down. And by the way, if you ask a divorce attorney if you're supposed to get a divorce, 100% of the time they say yes. It's like asking a dog if it's hungry. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about you, your life, your money, your career, your relationships. 888-825-5225. Tiffany starts off this hour. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm sorry I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. What's up?
I'm an office manager for a small construction company, and one of the owners out of the two has been using a secret credit card and purchasing a lot of personal stuff with it, and then using the company's checking to pay off the balance each month. I'm just kind of curious, is it only morally wrong if I don't say anything to the other owner, or is it not none of my business to be passing information along?
Ooh.
So let me help you with how you answer a business ethics question. Treat other people like you'd want to be treated. So reverse it. You own a construction company, and you have an employee who knows that there is a thief inside the business. What would you expect that employee to do ethically?
Definitely tell me, but my concern is I feel like if I say something, I'll lose my job. But if I don't say something, I might.
If you don't say something and I found out and you worked for me, I would fire you.
Okay.
For not telling me.
why would you lose your job for telling?
The other guy's got more power than the guy she's telling.
They're equal partners, but one is kind of silent. He's
a
comes
wimp.
And goes kind of, but
The lion
I'm just
is the
concerned.
thief, and the wimp is the guy losing the money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You need to get out of there, don't you?
Yeah, I just started listening to you guys about a week ago, and I'm only in baby step 1. I've got $98,000 in debt.
How old are you?
33.
What do you
and
make?
It's all currently 56 with this job, and I just got a part-time
Now,
job.
what do you make there at the thief place?
50.
Okay. And how long have you been there?
About 3 years.
Okay. Sometimes doing the right thing is painful in the short term. It is never painful in the long term. 100% of the time that you don't take care of this, it's going to cause you problems later.
Do you think that if you tell the weak leader that this other guy is basically stealing money, do you think there's a chance that he'll just be like, yeah, big deal? Do you think that he won't care?
I think he'll blame me for not, I guess, watching more closely and not giving him a heads up. I mean,
How long has this
everybody
been
knows
going on?
that, it's just gotten progressively worse over the past 4
That wasn't
months.
what I asked. I asked how long he's been stealing,
Probably since I started.
which is how long?
About 3 years. But it hasn't been to this level. Like,
Stealing has levels, but at no point is it okay.
So you're concerned because you've noticed this for 3 years and you haven't said anything, but now you're like, I got to say something. And you're afraid that the other guy's going to go, hey, why didn't you say something sooner?
Tiffany, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
You need to go look
if
for
I
a job.
I'm going to lose it either way.
You need to go.
I've got
Yeah,
two-
you're going to go. You're going to lose your job because you didn't take care of this when you should have. The first time you saw it, you should have walked in his office, the other guy's office, and said, "Look, I don't know what to do with this information, but if the roles were reversed, I would want to know, and I'm going to leave the information with you to do with what you want. But it's not going to be on me. I'm not keeping
Yeah,
secrets for thieves."
I went to leave a year ago, and I figured that once I left, that somebody else would see it. So I was basically pushing the problem off on
it's
somebody
honey.
else.
This is on your watch.
Okay.
You have to report the thief, and you have to look for a job.
And I feel
Because
like
number
it makes
one,
me look
even
like
if
a
they
thief.
want to keep you, you don't want to work there anymore.
That's true.
Okay.
This is a messed up, toxic environment.
Yeah.
A strong thief and a weak need partner. This is not, and you're stuck in the middle and didn't know what to do and therefore didn't do the right thing.
Yeah, that's a warning sign when you're in a situation like that and you don't feel you'll be supported or if for doing the right thing. That's a problem too.
Yeah, it's not even if they rise up and have a big clash over it, and the guy we're calling the weak leader is going to stand up to the other guy. Surprise, he stood up. Okay, we're all surprised, we're all shocked. But even then, you're not going to come out of this. You've known this for 3 years.
Right.
You don't come out looking good because you didn't bring it up earlier.
Yeah, it makes it look like you're
Okay,
part of
was
it.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about, that I look like the one who's actually the
And
thief
hiding
instead
it
of
is
him.
not going to fix that.
Okay.
So go get a job this week. Walk in and tell the guy, I should have told you 3 years ago. I'm sorry I didn't. I goofed. I let you down. I'm out of here. I'm not going to work in a place like this. This guy's stealing from you. Go take your
No,
new
I do have
job.
a personal question. I do have 2 interviews this week, but it's significantly like $10 less an hour. Do I just suck it up and take them and work multiple jobs until I find something?
Yep. Get something.
Yep.
Something's better than nothing.
Because
And then
otherwise, every day you're going in there, you are a liar.
Oh, okay.
You can't be that. That's not who you are. That's why you called us, because it's tearing your guts
yeah,
up.
it's eating you up.
You're not that
Yeah, it's giving
person.
me-
You're not that person,
I've been
and you
taking
can't.
anxiety pills for the past year.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. And John Deloney says anxiety is a fire alarm warning you that there's a problem. Well, guess what? There's a problem. Of course you're going to have anxiety in a situation where you're protecting a thief, and you're not a thief, and you're not a liar by nature. Of course you're going to have anxiety. So, hey, we're going to save you a bunch of money. We're getting rid of your anxiety pills because we're getting rid of this job.
There you go. You're going to feel so much better, Tiffany, when you get out of there.
You're going to feel clean, like you took a shower.
Yeah, I'm just concerned too about like financially, because I only have $500 in my emergency fund and I've got so much debt.
Well, you've got these jobs lined up.
You don't have a choice.
Okay.
You're about to get fired. As soon as they find this, they're going to blame it on you if you don't bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mr. Lion, that's the thief, is going to have a story that somehow, well, Tiffany's known about it. We all thought it was all okay. What's your problem? Well, my problem is you're a freaking thief. That's my problem. But nobody stands up to this guy. So you got to get out of there, girl. This is bad news. And next time you're presented with an ethics problem, don't wait 3 years to fix it and chew on anxiety pills and wonder why you got anxiety. You step into the ethics stuff. Face up. So, team member at Ramsey knows another team member stealing, doesn't tell me, I discover it, they're both gone. I'm not a big old meanie, but I can't trust either one of them, and trust is an essential part of a relationship. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. High school graduation season winding down, but plenty of sophomores and juniors who will be getting their diplomas are still uncertain about their future. They're asking, like, what am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? What should my major be? Should I really get a degree in German polka history? If that sounds like a high schooler in your life, here's some good news. With the new Get Clear assessment for students, they don't have to walk this road alone. We took our popular assessment for adults and made the questions more relatable to students who are about to take the next step into entrepreneurship, college, trades, wherever they're called. They're going to answer a few questions, and minutes later, they'll get a custom report with clear answers that truly drives them, their top strengths, and their possible careers that will be a great fit for them. Give them the gift of confidence of knowing what they were made to do, because that's the kind of gift that will last a lifetime. Order the Get Clear assessment for students today, RamseySolutions.com/GetClear. You know, Jade, I was going through that just now, and I was remembering a guy that's a friend of mine. He's an old guy, my age. He might be slightly younger, but he's right around my age. And many years ago, he was a photographer and is gifted, and this Get Clear assessment would reveal that he was gifted at his ability to see things. They call it spatial orientation. He can see things in 3D in his mind. He is a gun guy, and he loved guns, and he started building a gun. And he ended up building a gun that became world famous, and opening a gun company, selling that gun worldwide for millions and millions and millions of dollars, and sold the company for millions and millions and millions of dollars, all off of this one set of gifts. Now, he obviously learned business. He did a lot of other things, sales, all that. But in terms of actually, he had a tradesman type gift that he could see the engineering of that. Never had formal engineering training, does not have an engineering degree, but turned that. So getting clear on what your gifts are is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It can keep you from going and getting a degree in exactly the wrong thing and spending $200,000 doing it.
And it can show you all of the ways that your skill set can be used to earn money.
Yeah.
As opposed to just drilling down on one job.
Yeah, what was interesting about his story was he was a very good photographer using that exact same spatial gift. But that was not his passion. I mean, he used that same ability to see things in 3D, that spatial orientation, to see a gun.
Yeah.
And then went to the machine shop and built one. Not an engineer, not a machinist, but knew what he wanted and kept working it till he got it to do what he wanted it to do. And it's a phenomenal piece of equipment.
That's cool.
And has saved lives all over the world in the military. It's amazing. So but it all comes back from recognizing your genius. And stepping into it. Robert is in West Palm, Florida. Hi, Robert. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, Dave and Jade.
Sure.
I just had a question about me and my wife are about 110,000 student loans, and we're looking to possibly get out of our house, sell the house, use the difference after we pay off the rest of the house and pay off the student loans, and then go into putting into a down payment into a new house, and just kind of are back and forth and want to run through some numbers and see if it's the right idea or if we should try and stick it out.
Okay, so the price home that your current home would sell for how much?
Around $400,000.
And if you did all this and bought another house, what would the value of that home be?
We're looking somewhere between $450,000 and $500,000.
So you would move up in house.
We have two young kids, and we only have the house we have now is only.
So you're thinking of moving up in house anyway, and you're trying to use the student loan as an excuse.
Not necessarily. It was just something that we could move cross house and about the same size house, around the same amount, around that 400 between 450 amount, somewhere around that price, but just mostly to pay off either the whole student loan or a good chunk of the student loan.
So you don't like your current house?
No, we do.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we do. It's why we've gone back and forth, because we could stick it out in the house for another, because I think we have about 4 years for both of ours to be paid off.
What's your income?
For student loans.
What's your income?
About 85 to 90 net per year between the both of us. Okay,
so if you sell your current house and you buy a home slightly more expensive and pay off $110,000 worth of student loan debt out of the equity from the sale, therefore have less of a down payment by $110,000 on the next house. Did I get the story right?
Yes.
If you do that, it's the same thing as just refinancing your house and paying off a student loan with a mortgage.
Okay, so you think it's probably best?
No, it's exactly this. You understand? That's exactly the same thing. You moved your student loan to a mortgage.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're looking at it, because instead of paying interest on a student loan, is that it would be paying towards equity in a new house, to where it was more paying towards ourselves.
You already have a house.
Yes.
So that does not mathematically hold water.
Okay. So
if you didn't have a house and this got you a house, then you would say we'd be building equity. But if you have a $400,000 house that's building equity, or you have a $450,000 house that's building equity, they're both building equity, regardless of the mortgage. All you did was put the student loan on a mortgage. That's all you did in this scenario. So you could either refinance the current house, if you like it, and do the same thing.
Okay, yeah, because we refinanced on the house and got it down to about 3%. So that's why we were thinking maybe we should just stick with the house that we're in now. Because, like I said, I think it's about 4 years max. If we don't, that's just based off of normal pay.
What's your household income again?
$90K.
Between 85 to 90K.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're probably 3 years if you really bear down on it with beans and rice. What do you do for a living?
I'm an insurance adjuster.
Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to get you to see is I want you to rethink your process of decision making, because effectually what you did was you borrowed on a mortgage to pay off your student loans as if you had refinanced your current residence in your scenario. And when I reframed that and pointed that out to you, I'm still not 100% sure you got it.
No, I understand what you're saying, because that's why we've had the decision of if we should just stay in the house we're in.
Yeah.
I get that we're moving. It's almost moving.
You're just moving the debt over.
Instead of paying. Yeah.
So you truly are using the house move as an excuse to refinance those student loan into a mortgage.
Yes, and I understand where. That's why we are going back and forth, and we've had this leaning towards the not moving and just sticking it out. I don't
really need to go back and forth. Don't do that. That's what I was trying to tell you. Okay, don't do that. So we would not suggest that you go refinance your home and use the money to pay off your student loans. We would tell you to pay off your student loans.
Mm-hmm.
And we would therefore not tell you to do effectually the same thing with a move.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you told me you were going to move to a $200,000 house from a $400,000 house and free up $110,000 to pay on the student loans, and you wanted to make that sacrifice to get out of debt, now I'd have to think about, do I really want to do that or not?
Yeah.
That's not bad, but that's a pretty deep cut, and I usually sell my home to get out of debt as my last resort. But selling it with what you're talking about, there's no sacrifice involved. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite.
Mm-hmm,
You're going up in house.
Going up in home, yeah.
So you're not sacrificing at all. As a matter of fact, you're trying to skip over getting the student loan paid off, and you don't get to do that. It's in there somewhere. You can always hide the P, but it's under one of those shells.
Oh, it's under there, all right.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer, and good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Brent is in Columbia, South Carolina. Hi, Brent. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
It's a pleasure to be on here, sir. How are you doing today?
Honored to have you. How can we help?
I'm going through a little bit of a dark valley. Just give a little backstory real quick. I am a born-again Christian. I just gave my life to the Lord about 8 months ago.
Wow, very cool.
And I was in a very, very bad time. My old lifestyle, either could have ended me up dead or in prison. So I wanted to make a change, and plus, unfortunately, it cost me my marriage. But I'm on the right path to at least make myself better, and hope and pray that God can answer a couple prayers for me and reconcile my marriage. But I am on a business venture. It's an untapped market that nobody has touched before. And I'm just trying to make sure that I am going to be able to, with my income right now, being able to also pay my bills that I got to pay, plus be able to pay for all the patent stuff that I got to do. My patent's already in the process right now, but I have to get there's stuff that you got to pay, because we all know patents aren't just something that you pay for right on the spot. You have to pay for it over time. So I'm just trying to make sure that my patent, the money that I have for my patent, is there when it's needed, and then also be able to pay for my bills, and also be able to make sure that I'm able to do what I need to do to sustain my living while I'm out on the road.
Okay, so you have a job.
Yes.
Then you make what?
I'm on track right now to make roughly about $82,000 this year.
And out on the road is with your job?
Yes, I'm a truck driver for a living.
Ah, okay. All right. And, all right. So
basically, you want to make sure that you're having the money to maintain your lifestyle, but also start this business and be productive with it.
What have you been told you'll need for the patent money-wise? How much money?
My patent lawyer said that throughout the span of the next year or so, I'm looking at probably close to about $15,000 to $20,000.
Okay, so you have a patent lawyer in South Carolina that you're working with?
Yes.
Okay. And this is an attorney in a law firm that was recommended in a building that you went and sat with?
Yes, my personal attorney recommended me to this guy.
Okay, good. Because in the world that you're dabbling in, there are a bunch of shysters, and I was trying to make sure you didn't get hooked up with one. There are companies that will claim that they can get you a patent, and they'll claim they get you distribution and help you with prototypes and all this stuff, and they'll take $10,000 from you up front, and you never get anything. Mm-hmm. Those are out there. There's a bunch of those out there, okay? So stay away from that kind of a thing. So it sounds like you've got an attorney, though, that's on the up and up, so I'm fine with that. And then you do have to go, it sounds like you're building a physical product, so you're going to get a prototype, and you have to think about who's going to buy it and how you're going to get it to manufacture, or are you going to sell the whole kit and caboodle off of the prototype and walk away? You know, you got to decide your approach after that. Because getting the patent is just the very first step.
Mm-hmm. And I've already got the prototype. I'm actually in the process of building. I've got a set, design, everything. I've already built one kit, and I am this weekend actually. I start production on building the rest of the kits from the materials that I have right now. All this stuff will be, of course, branded. I have my own branding, my own business name. So it will, and I make everything in-house. The only thing I don't make in-house is one of the components that I have to actually order.
Who's buying this? Who's the customer?
Truck drivers.
And so how are you going to get the information to them so that they buy it?
Okay, so I have a background in social media marketing. I actually used to have a huge following on social media, but when I gave my life to the Lord, I got rid of everything, and I focused solely on just trying to help people's businesses grow. Like,
so were they following you on social media? What was the reason they were following you? They admired your hell raising, or they liked something else you were doing?
Well, it was because of my old lifestyle. I don't want to get too much into it, because he that be in Christ is a new creature, and I don't even feel like I'm talking about the same person anymore, So I was, a lot of people liked it because I was telling people the truth about something, and I still stand firm to a lot of it, but it's no longer who I am.
That's fair.
So I just branched off of it. So.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to, without getting too far in, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Good. Okay.
So
it
what's
sounds
the
like
timeline
you got a way to sell it. You got a way to produce your first sets. What is your question?
So, with me and my separation and everything, when all this happened, I pretty much invested as much money as I could possibly invest into building myself up in my marriage and stuff like that. And I practically spent way too much money. Me and my wife sold our house. Fortunately, we were able to, we had a place that we could go to, and it didn't cost us anything. But we basically, a lot of that money was spent to go forward in our life, but at the same time, there was also a lot of it that was blown. And I pretty much had to look at my account one day and basically just say, oh my goodness, like $100,000 was spent in a year.
Yeah, Brent, how can we help you today?
So I'm building everything up, my emergency funds and everything. I just want to make sure from someone who is actually business savvy how I can make sure that I'm having everything in the right spot that it needs to be in so that I can tackle this business venture that I'm doing and be as successful as I possibly can.
Okay.
As far as money goes.
Good. All right. So what I would do is tell you, it sounds like you probably have already done this, but the basics are you open a separate business account to do the business out of, the new patent deal. Okay. The only money you put into that account is money that comes from sales. The only money you take out of that are business expenses, and you take care of your household budget off of your truck driving income. Okay? I don't want you eating out of the business right now. I want all the money that goes in, all the money that goes out. The difference is called profit. So if you put $10,000 in there because a whole bunch of people order some of these with your social media skills, and you go and order some materials for $6,000, the money that's left is $4,000. That's called profit. Okay? And so you just run everything completely separate. Don't mix your grocery money into your business account. You follow me? Because that'll give you clear pictures on how the business is doing and what's going on, and if you're feeding the business or the business is feeding you. Because sometimes in a small situation like this where people are passionate like you are, they can throw money into the project and they look up later, like you looked up and realized $100,000 is gone. You'll look up and realize, God, I just put $80,000 in this. I did not mean to do that over the last 2 years, and without making a profit. But if you've got this account that's either getting squeezed or flush, it's talking to you about how the business is doing. If it's squeezed, you're not selling enough, you're paying too much for your materials, whatever it is. If it's squeezed, you're looking for what's causing the problem. If it's flush, it means, hey, we got things going. We got good sales going here. We got a production problem maybe. Maybe we have trouble producing the items fast enough. But keep it completely separate like you're running it for someone else. And then that way, that simple checking account will do that. If you pull money out of that business, or at the end of the year, if there's money left in that account, it's going to be taxable. And so set aside a fourth of anything you pull out to get ready for taxes on that business. And you may want to get a CPA to help you make sure you're doing that right. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 13:4. The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. Tim Allen said, if you don't decide where you're going, life will decide for you. Ooh. Pat's with us in South Bend, Indiana. Hi, Pat. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. It's a real pleasure to speak with you today.
You too. What's up?
Well, I've been contributing to a healthcare savings account for several years now. I never thought much about that money. I just kind of considered it an emergency fund for medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I looked at it a couple of weeks ago, and it's up to about $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So the account offers investment options, but I haven't looked at them because it kind of seems opposite to the purpose of an emergency fund, right? But
it's not an emergency fund, though. You have an emergency fund, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Is it in a good savings account?
It's in what used to be called ING Orange. I think it's now Capital One.
Money market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, my HSA is 100% invested in mutual funds.
Okay. So that was my question. Should I consider investing at least a portion of that money now that there's more in there than I would ever need immediate?
Yeah. I guess the exception is, do you have an oncoming known medical event?
I don't. Not as of now. The kind of blessed with good health so far. I don't spend very much money on health care, so there's more money in there than what I see an immediate need for.
So, Dave, you fully invest your HSA.
Because I won't be touching it.
Yeah, I save out enough for the dedeductible.
Yeah.
And then invest the rest.
That'd be fine, too. If you said, okay, my deductible's $5,000, so I'm going to invest $15,000 in your case. That'd be a good plan, too. I've got a lot of liquid cash, so in my particular situation, so the likelihood of me tapping into that HSA is very low, unless I just wanted to pay some medical bills with tax-free dollars, which is what the HSA the health savings account allows you to do. And right now, instead, what I have as I approach 65, I'll be turning it into a retirement account.
Yeah, which is very great.
So it's just grown tax-free. It's like another 401k for me because I've never used it. So if you're not using it, invest it. And so Jade's right. If you want to hold out the deductible portion to be super safe, you could do that. Or if you have a known medical event, you say, I'm getting ready to have to come out of $10,000. Well, don't pop that in mutual funds and then turn around and have to take it back out. Just leave that liquid. But
it's a great vehicle.
If you don't, yeah, exactly. If you don't, then let's use it that way. Matthew's in New York. Hi, Matthew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
Just looking for your advice on how I should handle my mortgage. I'm 30 years old, recently married, and my wife and I have about $250,000 on our mortgage and about $400K in assets, not including the house. So I just don't know how fast I should tackle the mortgage, and it's also at a very low interest rate, 2.5%.
What kind of assets?
So $100,000 in retirement, and then of the remaining $300,000, about $150 in mutual funds. And the remainder are in stocks like Apple, Costco, Tesla, real estate stocks.
Okay, so you got $300K in stocks and mutual funds.
Yes, and they all have a high.
And you have a $250,000 mortgage.
Yes.
I hate to tell you this. So the $300K, it's non-retirement money?
No.
Non-retirement money, $100K additional in retirement money.
I would pay off the house.
Even though it's a 2.5% interest, and I could get higher returns on like REITs and other stable stocks.
Matthew, if the house was paid for, would you go borrow $300K on it to invest?
No, I would just take my house.
It's the same thing. If you switch it around, it's the same thing.
Okay, it's tough for me to pull that trigger because I've been investing since I was 18 years old.
Have you ever lived in a paid off home before?
No, I lived at home until I was 27.
I think that's why it's hard for you. I think that's why it's hard because you've never experienced that. But when you pay this home off, you're going to go, oh my gosh. And you're going to think back on what we just said and you're going to go, man, that's absolutely true. I would not borrow. Now that I'm free, I would not borrow that money to do those investments.
Let's walk this out a second. Okay. What's the house worth?
House is worth about $450,000.
And what is your household income now that you're married?
Right now, it's my wife and I, about $170K, and I hope to get it up a little higher in the next couple of years.
Okay. So, average $200K over the next few years, 0 payments in the whole world. You realize, and you're how old now?
I'm 30.
Okay. And so you understand that by the time you're 35, you're going to have a net worth over $1 million.
Yeah, that's my goal to get there. You know.
Well, I mean, with what we just outlined. Because if you take your old house payment, you got that and tremendous ability to cash flow. You start maxing out all 401ks and doing additional investing because you like to invest. You told us that. And if your new wife likes to invest with your fabulous income and absolutely no payments in the world. See, your most powerful wealth building tool is not borrowing on your house. Your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. And when you're not paying it to some stupid butt bank, you can use it to get rich, my friend. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're in the process of doing. So if I were in your shoes, I would do exactly what Jade told me to do.
I would too.
By the end of the day, I would be debt free, and I'd be running around Manhattan like a wild man yelling, I'm debt free. And or Queens or the Bronx or wherever you are. And
I mean, you have to admit though, Dave, that's jarring for people to say, hey, cash out your stocks, pay off your house.
It's not as jarring as
to the tune of $250,000. I mean,
it's not as jarring as taking a paid-for house and borrowing on it to invest in stocks.
Of course,
and it's the same thing.
I agree, and I accept that. But
hey, we've always been known at Ramsey for being weird.
We have. I know that when I said that to that guy, he was like, what?
Yeah, say what? Yeah, because he's been taught to use the difference in his mortgage rate and invest in, he's investing in Apple, so he's made good money on that.
Yeah.
And but you're basically saying, I'm going to risk my home with my new bride to play stock market boy. Not doing it, man.
Yeah.
Not doing it. So, and all you got to do is reverse engineer these questions.
That is exactly right. Yep.
And they tell you what to do sometimes. You're like, no, I would never do that. Yeah, well, effectually you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it says if you keep that stock tomorrow, Matthew, instead of paying it off today, it's as if you borrowed on your home $250,000 to put it into the market and play.
Yeah. Well, and he's going to have,
Talk about a high-risk maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, none of your math that you're doing where you think that you're making all this money on your borrowed money, you've not entered any mathematics to represent the risk that you're taking.
That's right. Well, that's what everybody fails to account for.
Yeah.
It's a perfect scenario.
When you mathematically adjust for risk, it takes a lot of the fun away. Where you thought, oh, I'm so smart. I borrowed money at 3 or 4 and I'm investing and I'm making 10 or 11 and you feel smart, but you didn't adjust for taxes and you didn't adjust for risk. Mm-hmm. And when you adjust for those two things mathematically, it neutralizes the advantages of leverage if you do the math properly. Because that, all things have risk.
That's right.
And debt, every time you borrow money, it has risk. The more debt, the more risk. Sometimes you've got such a small amount of debt that it doesn't feel like you have risk. Mm-hmm. But a small amount still represents risk. It's just small. Mm-hmm. And big debt, big risk. I mean, if you take a $400,000 property and you borrow $600,000 on it, at 12%, and now we got big risk.
Yeah.
And so it's because you're over leveraged, and that's where you're setting yourself up. Matthew, that's a really good question. Congratulations on the new marriage.
Yeah,
I'm not sure you're going to do what Jade told you to do, but you should.
I just think it's a boss move to live in a paid-for home. Can I just say that? Mathematics aside.
In New York City?
Okay.
Hello. I'm with you there.
That's amazing.
Putting this hour in the books, the Booth Dudes are back together. Austin, Ben, James, Zach, and Andrew. The Booth Dudes did it again. It's like a band reunion. I'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.